I have no fucking idea what day it is.
What's new in your life? You're still working at the Chi-Chi's?
Chi-Chi's, yep.
Pon Chi-Chi's.
Slinging hot, not authentic Mexican food.
The Subway of Mexican food.
Well,
Where was the sandwich invented, you know?
When was it invented?
What style
dude?
of food is that? That's not American, right?
Right.
There had to be sandwiches back in the day. Like, you got the Reuben. That's got to be like German, right? Or something.
Well, when people started agriculture, it started with grains and shit. So then
They had bread.
They started making flour and bread, and they just ate bread.
When did they start putting meat and shit?
They probably started.
on it?
Well, they'd eat food with bread. Then they probably started putting food on bread in between bread.
Right. It went from
they just started. I mean,
stews, like dipping your bread in your stew or your soup and your shit like that.
When did it go from like just shoveling everything into your mouth to like, okay, we're gonna build a sandwich? And like,
I think over time, everything like a lot of dishes have just.
They've definitely evolved.
That I enjoy even personally. It's almost like as time goes on and cultures mix more and food wise and culinarily. But like it seems like you get a wrap and everything's mixed up, or there's a lot of dishes now where it's like a bunch of ingredients all together, like like a suicide, like a soda or something. But
right. It's weird how like some food
casseroles
evolved over time.
Casseroles.
Casseroles.
The fuck? Instead of just heating up meat and noodles and bread and shit separately.
Well, people get too bored. They want to make it better. So many different variations.
But it's good though. I'm glad.
It's weird like how shit evolved. Like fucking like say Italian food. Like how originally like tomatoes.
It probably wasn't shit. It probably like all the food that we enjoy that we call like Italian Mexican food. It was probably shit. Back when they were actually having to make it.
It's probably horrible, but
authentically.
Well, I mean, because like tomatoes are from like North America, I guess. So.
Oh, okay.
That's fucking crazy, right?
So am I.
Well, yeah, but you think like the marinara and all that bullshit, pasta sauce. That wasn't a thing until after the discovery of America.
Really? Yeah. Okay, so pasta sauce. From
what I've fucking heard.
What the fuck were they doing then?
Right, I mean olive oil and stuff and cheese.
So it's like Italian
influence,
but it's not
bread
really
and cheese and oregano and
dude, I love me some Parmesan cheese on some spaghetti. I like to cake my spaghetti with the Parmesan cheese so that every noodle has about 100 grains of Parmesan,
right.
whatever
some,
brand you get.
Crushed red pepper on there, that'd be nice.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love crushed red pepper. I told you before, but I'll just say it now. But I made that tuna salad. Mm-hmm. When I was thinking about it, I didn't even think to put cashews in it right at first. I was just like, I want tuna sandwiches for lunch this week, but I wanted something to make all at once so I could keep it in a Tupperware container. I went out and bought a cheap ass. They got cheap ass Tupperware nowadays. Like, don't have to be nothing special. But I was like, ooh, fresh jalapenos, because Mitch made a tuna salad the other week for us, and we ate it throughout the week. But it was just like, it was good flavor for tuna salad.
Right.
It just tasted like tuna, but it had onions and it had celery, and I don't like that kind of crunchy stuff. If I get crunchy stuff, it better be a pepper. And that's it, I guess. Yeah. I don't like tomatoes. I don't like chunky tomatoes.
Wait, you don't like them in general?
Huh?
You don't like it in general at all? Crunchy?
No, I don't like onions.
I used to not like onions, but now I
tomato is just like, to me, like a tomato is like a fucking, if there was a plant person and you pulled out their heart and like you left it in your fridge for a long time, like you would a tomato. And it gets all fucking nasty. You shouldn't store
tomatoes in the fridge.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. I knew you were going to say something like that. Well, my mom stored them in the fridge. So, in the crisper.
I mean, if you're going to keep them for a long time, I guess.
The crisper. But,
the crisper.
I just feel like they decompose just like a fucking human body. To me, this is gross. I don't know why. I've just developed this, like, not a phobia.
Well, I mean, all food is supposed to decompose. I mean, we've just... Well, you say
I think when vegetables, like the fact that it's an organic and it was at one point a living organism.
But you say you think it's weird that food decomposes? Or?
To me, it's just I don't know why there's some sort of stigma or something with me where like if there's lettuce and it's not fresh and it's just a day old and it's got some brown on it, no, I'm not eating that.
Well, humans just learn to not eat that bad shit, so that's probably why, right? I mean,
Hopefully.
you're drawn away from it.
Hopefully I'm on the very peak of evolution, you know? I'm the one who's like, fuck vegetables, this is rotten, it's not good for you.
It's not good for you, man.
No, but yeah, Mitch made that tuna salad, and, but, you know, I hate onions. I hate onions in tuna salad, or in tuna. I don't like the word salad. But I decided to make my own tuna salad one day, and I was like, all right, jalapenos, not pickled, one of the fresh ones so I can get the actual flavor, and not too many.
I love pickled peppers.
I threw some cashews in there, crushed them up. I threw hella cashews in there, dude. Like, lots of cashews.
So fucking good. Like I told you before,
every bite was like a good crunchy texture, super like creamy. I put some chili powder in there and some pita bread. And at first, for the first start of the week, I had some cheddar to lay over the pita bread, and then put the tuna. But that's when I was gorging myself. Like the first 2 meals I ate of that tuna was like 2 pita bread sandwiches. No, that's not gonna happen. I ate one yesterday before work, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go in. I should call in today or something."
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. You such a. I mean, I know you probably
how I do what?
Eat what you want a lot of the times, but whenever, from what I've seen, you're always cooking the same shit because it's.
I mean, I pretty much.
You probably enjoy it, especially the way you do it.
I mean, I've been changing them now. I've been making these bomb ass salads.
Have you?
Giant salads.
What kind of dressing? Italian?
Oh yeah.
Or oil? I'm wondering, is oil and like vinegar that type of dressing, like balsamic vinegar, is that good for you?
I mean, certain oils you don't want to eat. Like I said, you could just make a dressing out of.
I like a good salad with some like.
Because the thing is, if you're buying like dressing from the store, it's just like you're putting sugar on your shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is I buy this.
Hidden Valley is not healthy.
I do buy
Even
this.
Paul Newman's, but God bless his heart.
Yeah, right.
Like, God bless his soul.
I mean, I use this one kind of dressing that's like good for you. I guess it's like really nothing for you. It's like 0 sugar, 0 anything. Really, it's just some
zero flavor, or is it?
I know it's good. Like it's just it's spices and shit, but it's like 0 sugar, 0 calories or whatever.
That's what it should be, right?
If you're trying to lose weight, but
yeah, I mean, you really shouldn't have to get like any nutrients from like.
I just wonder what kind of oil it is. If it's like a bad oil that they put in it, and like any of the
like when you look at a bottle of Italian dressing, like a Hy-Vee brand Italian dressing, or a store-bought brand. Excuse me. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh,
You
God.
got your mic all stinky. No, but I feel like you turn the bottle over, you can see all separation, like all the shit that's in the oil and like the dressing of the Italian.
Oh yeah.
Like that shit. I mean, you putting oil in your body, like vegetable oil and shit. That's
it's good to get like a.
What's the difference? Do you know what is a bad oil to put in?
I mean, a lot of people say like, olive oil, is good for you, but then a lot of people say, no, it's bad for you. It's like, well, you could say, like coconut oil is really good for you because that's like a healthy fat, like a healthy fatty food. So that's good to take in. I wish I kind of want to make my own Italian dressing with like coconut oil and like herbs and spices if I
sweet,
could.
But add in your herbs.
If I
because anything with coconut oil is gonna be sweet.
I just always use coconut oil because it's good for you, like to intake. I hate how
it's good for you, or it's just better than other oils to take in.
Like I said, it's like a healthy fat. It's good. Like if you're trying to get on like a ketogenic diet too, or get your body in ketosis.
I gotta look that shit up. I should probably get a book or two.
It's good to eat the healthy fats like avocados, coconut oils.
I want to get fucking healthy, but I don't want to like tell anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because not like I don't want to surprise. I don't want to surprise people. I see some people posting on Facebook. They just share too much of their fucking lives. It's like.
Oh, yeah.
Not everybody that's on your Facebook and your friends list is on that journey with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it goes for a lot of things. I'm guilty of it too, but like I saw somebody who might edit this out. I don't know, but I saw somebody posting like I'm just chit-chatting, spitballing. Mm-hmm. Girls like, and I think you may know who I'm talking about, but people that are like, I'm gonna post this on Facebook to seek attention, whether knowingly or not, but they make it obvious that they're not trying to seek attention, I mean, that is kind of the shitty part of Facebook. I mean, it's one of the shitty parts,
I mean, yeah,
But
it's
it's
like
one of the shittier parts to me is like, why are you sharing all this information with people who don't care, who might comment and might like or do a sad react or a
send
happy
positive
react? They
vibes.
don't give a fuck about you and don't think that they do for 1 second. You
No,
know what I'm
it's super
saying?
weird that I know a lot about people that I have no contact with,
Right.
But
Exactly.
at the
We're
same, it
getting
is
to
a
know
good,
people we
it's a
don't even fucking
crazy
know.
time in human history. We've never been able to communicate like this before, instantaneously,
You're right.
not face to face.
I can't
So it's
blame anybody.
weird.
I'm guilty of it.
Like, but I think it's and people with like posting personal shit on Facebook, like it's good because in a way like they do have their close friends and relatives on this. That's an
Right.
easy way for them to let everyone know.
Exactly.
But then it's like
Yeah.
it's coupled with like your acquaintances that are on
Mhm.
your Facebook. And I mean,
You
I
ain't
don't think
lying.
that's bad.
See, I'm
I
glad
think
you said that because
I
that
think
is the
that's like the line
the
between
counter
right?
to what I was saying exactly.
It's like
Because
it is good to be able to communicate
yeah,
instantaneously.
you're right.
With
You're right.
the ones who do matter, but I guess
I'm not hating. I'm not trying to hate on
I think
it.
it's just I think it's weird. What the reason we would react to it that way is because this is such a new way to communicate. It's fucking weird.
Yeah,
We've
and
never
like
been
it's
able
almost
to,
like we're stuck in the past, but we've been here for it. Like we were born in the future, basically, of technology.
like back when humans were like fucking hunter gatherer tribes and shit, small groups of humans. You're always like super close, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
you knew everything about each other. Everyone was like whole family, basically.
That's how like the structure and shit. Right.
And then that broke apart with like more population and like then the development of like cities and all this and that and then just neighborhoods and now how we live nowadays. People could be stacked in like skyscrapers or you could be like in normal neighborhoods like in the Midwest or still live in rural areas, scattered out or whatever. It's diverse now. But and then since like technology now taking over with like again the way we can communicate crazy like super instantaneously like and it can be face to face with like FaceTime, but again it's mostly not face to face, so that's a weird way to express feelings. That's why
it's through like
that's why like anything on the internet that has a comment section there's always a fight. Like,
there's always
because
can tell, like,
whether or not you're being a troll or not or whatever just for fun starting fights or
well,
like
there's always going to be a difference of opinions, especially, and I guess that is a beautiful part of it. It's because when you go to a comment section, think of what that would be in real life. Say it's after a show, maybe a comedy show or like a local music show, some metal bands or some, obscure rock, whatever kind of unconventional type music, noise bands or something. And there's just a group of people outside chatting to each other and they're all like on a certain level and they know it. They realize that we're all peers here at the show, and I'm not trying to single anybody out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's how it is. It's pretty much how humans are with that kind of situation. It's like chit chat after a show. I mean that one band was this and that. Yeah, that other band was that and this. It is. I mean that's kind of what like the comment section could be like metaphorically.
Right.
For real life. When you see that, it's like you always have one person or at least two, maybe more, hopefully more, that will stick out and like oh boy, JP was saying, Jordan Peterson was saying, you like put outside of a circle.
Yeah.
I mean that's like very like, and almost and this is my perspective on it, but to me it seems like it's becoming more and more uncommon to be placed outside of the circle. Because there's so many different views and different opinions, and people are more apt to share those fucking now. Because I think over the past decade, we've been trained on Facebook and social media that we can just say whatever we want, how we're thinking, what we're thinking at that point in time, whether it's good or bad, which is mostly bad probably. But
like it's so weird. Like there's people posting like. Hit me up, got that fire. People posting like drug dealers on Facebook.
Up,
people
dude.
being stupid like that.
And you see so many news articles of like
it's so weird,
driving drunk, or like posted on a status Facebook, driving drunk.
People have got in trouble from social media now, for doing dumb shit, or at the least lose their jobs. For plenty of people have done that. But
it's
I don't
crazy
know.
That social media is a thing that we've like. This is our finalization almost, like to what our knowledge at least. This present day. I mean, this is what how the world connects to each other is through the internet now.
It's funny how back in the 90s and like early 2000s, you had chat rooms and stuff, but it was like before social media still, basically. We had email and whatever, but...
right, but that was just weird. For like your boss or like...
But now we're like...
spam mail.
Yeah, just the way we're communicating now. Like, it's funny, like, Twitter is like a official source for contact of, important people. You know, like on the news, they're like,
yeah, they're always buzzing them.
so and so said
and the
via
more that
Twitter
media
this morning that you know, it's like
Right.
that's like an official like your
Yeah,
podium.
Donald Trump tweeted
Yeah,
this and that. You
God,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
But and it's yeah, like I was saying, just it's a crazy way that humans are communicating now. We never have
how we've
before.
evolved.
It's
To
super weird.
communicate with
So
each
people
other,
don't know
yeah.
how to react. People are handling it in different ways. Some people think it's fun and want to go be trolls and shit post and you know cause all this shit just for fun, and it is funny sometimes.
It is funny, yeah. I like seeing
then
some shit like
they
that.
clash with like people who are just being genuine on the internet, and they just get into fights, and it's funny.
What I think is funny is that Boston Antifa page that's on Facebook, like the actual, you know, whatever. I thought it was. I still think it's just satire. These people are just not really serious because it's fucking insane. Like this dude is part of the Boston Antifa chapter, and you know, has there's like training videos of what to do when you're at a protest or whatnot. I haven't watched more than 2, and this dude like, the girl was narrating. She was like, and for straight cis males or you know blah blah blah, fucking get you know explore different gender identity or something. But the dude, he's wearing regular clothes, and they clip to him wearing a wig and a short skirt, and like go to the protest dressed up as a girl to see what they feel like, you know, this and that, to put yourself in their shoes. But I think that Boston Antifa page, every comment I saw was a troll, it was a hate comment. I mean, it was like nobody. I don't think it's real because like if people had really acted like that, who the fuck is gonna take you seriously, man?
Right.
Why should you have any views on anything that has to do with the rest of the world if you're not willing to, you know, work with the rest of the world at least? And I'm not saying, you know, what does Antifa stand for? Anti-fascist?
Yeah.
I've also heard it stand for anti-First Amendment. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
Really?
a good and an evil thing to everything. You know, the root of that, of course, like a hell of people have talked about this, but it's just like the narrative totally goes against the fact that the truth that they're really becoming the fascists. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Trying to, you know, hate speech isn't included in the First Amendment. You know, I don't.
Well, you said saying hate speech isn't
cool
included.
Huh?
Saying hate speech isn't included.
Yeah, that if you spew anything that I consider hate speech, then, you know, but that leaves that's what I'm saying is I don't fucking
really
have too
weird
much of an opinion on that because, like, I'm so happy we have free speech.
Right. Yeah,
and I think if you want to get rid of that, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, because people
you're
gotta
not going
realize
to be able to stand up for what you believe in the future, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
If that were to happen. But, I mean, it's thought police, just like they've been saying for years, you know?
Right.
And I'm not saying the left or the right, I'm just saying the videos and the people that I've seen, like the kids that mutual friends who are just, you know, the typical quote unquote social justice warrior type. I mean, they're just trying to prove. It's almost like they're trying to prove to themselves, but it's just trying to prove to the people around them that they're a good person. And it's like, if you really have to try that much, are you really a good person? You know?
Yeah.
Why do you want to control everybody's fucking life? There's some stupid, fucking hateful people out there. There always will be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now there's some that are starting to become fucking, who think that they're fighting against that shit, but they're just becoming that shit, man. I don't want to go to a show and imagine, I mean, this sounds ridiculous, but this is what it will come to probably if, you know, the thought police type mentality comes in to play with our, even it'll bleed into the local music scene. People, you know, us, for example, going to do a hip-hop show, a set of some hip-hop.
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine anybody being like, fucking work it? You know, that might be in a movie or something. That's probably, like, Hollywood-based or, you know, we're in the Midwest, though. We're in Illinois. Pretty diverse area of Illinois, you know, metropolitan area. Can you imagine somebody just coming up to you, like, dude, after the show being like, yo, no, you guys are white, you're you know, and especially with the style that we do not try to say, we're not trying to fucking act like, we're not trying to act like anything, and not even trying to follow the, what would you call it, what we've been fed our whole lives. Dude, I hated early 2000s rap and R&B. It was so terrible.
I hated rap when I was a kid, except I did like Eminem shit.
Yeah.
Coolio, I heard Nelly and like whatever.
Right.
You know,
but like when
some
you
others,
like dig deeper down to like the deeper roots of hip hop, it's like, man, that's.
I think I realized I hated what I like kind of, what you hear still, like on the main, if you turn on the hip hop radio station,
Yeah.
local radio hip hop station, it's like usually the, bullshit,
It's
the
it's usually
shitty
the
mainstream shit. So I think that's what I was hearing when I was younger. I was like, I heard a lot of rap that I just didn't like,
No, straight up.
There
One, I
was,
couldn't relate to it.
yeah,
I'm
there
sure
was
you
some
couldn't
rap I
either,
liked, but I generally said like, no, I don't like rap at all.
I guess I
'cause
really relate to, like, personally, perspective wise, I really relate to, like, either angry rap, or like rap that's like comedic in a way, lighthearted, like, that's how I think, like, just Sugar Hill Gang or fucking Slick Rick, fucking.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, doing that bougie like British voice.
Right.
Like that's dope, And I'm not saying I know what the fuck hip hop. I just know what I like.
Right.
And when I hear like, people, there are people around here that appropriate something.
Something.
I wouldn't call it black culture because that should offend anybody. If the mainstream, if you would call that, I wouldn't call that black culture.
It's pop culture.
That's pop culture. It's money making culture. It's the dudes who own all that hip hop shit now, who run all that, are Jewish probably.
And that's funny. That's funny, like you're saying. Yeah, you can't call it black culture. It's like, yeah, black culture. What do you mean? Is black culture African culture, or like
Right, true. Like black American culture is
really more.
I think it's
more of a specific thing.
It's a fucked up relationship that we've had, but I think it's actually gotten a lot better. Like, I mean, it's gotten completely better, dude.
And that's the other
complaint. Can you imagine going to the gas station? Like the other week, I went to go grab some beer, and the guy behind me happened to be African American fella, and I'm pretty sure I knew him. I think he went to Moline, but he mentioned something about, he was like kind of joking with the cashier. I think she's like she's Middle Eastern, I think, heavy accent, real nice lady. It's the KC Brothers Mart up on the avenue on the corner next to Walgreens.
Mm-hmm.
But I went in there to get some beer, and he made a joke about her, like, because she didn't card me or something. And then he said, how old, or, said something about her age or something. And I mentioned, she looks about 25 to me, trying to be nice, because she was, like, definitely, like, 40 or 50,
Yeah.
And we just all had a good laugh. And we eventually, like, when I walked out, I don't know why, I just felt the urge to say, have a good night, fellas, be safe, Just camaraderie, I guess. Like, I would do that for, to anybody that we had a joking, laughing matter happen in line. But it's like, imagine that going down in the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
That, or the, whatever the fuck, the 50s, 60s even, early 60s.
Even if you're like like back in the day, like in the 50s and shit, like if you were a white person that associated with blacks a lot, other white people would, hate on you for that,
Right, exactly.
It's ridiculous, but yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy how we were all
we're
together, and how we're all now a part of like one country, and like,
yeah.
And the history is bloody, on every end. It's bloody.
What country has a peaceful history?
Right, I don't fucking know.
Maybe like,
I don't know. Maybe one of those.
There's some countries that live peacefully, but has there ever been a country or a patch of land on this earth that like
wasn't conquered,
was always peaceful
100%
of the time? Really? Like, I don't
think so, man. I don't think.
No, I don't think that's possible. But
no.
So yeah,
especially back then.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna dwell on the past, and we gotta learn how to move forward together.
Straight up. And then we were doing a good job. I think old boy Gavin said it. Gavin. Mm-hmm. And McKinnis, and he said we were good at one point. We were all riffing at work and making fun of each other's like lighthearted lead races or cultures, if that came up. Not just to be a fucking dick, but like that was like the most comfortable era for America. And it's funny because that was probably brought by movies and TV and the media and music and rap and country and every kind of everything. Especially I'm talking America mainly. Yeah. Because, I mean, weren't the British even more open to integration than, like, at that point in time when we still had like segregated shows and shit,
I'm not
like
really
concerts
sure,
and whatnot?
Well, yeah, because
the Beatles and
yeah,
like the
I was
Rolling
just gonna say,
Stones and all
dude,
that.
I was just gonna
They
say
were
the
playing
Beatles,
that type of music. And
dude,
shit.
the new Beatles documentary that anyone, if anyone's listening, they should totally check out. 8 Days a Week by Ron Howard film. It's
Ron
really good.
Howard.
It talks about their touring years when they're actually like playing live. You know, like fucking crazy, fucking
Jeez.
8 days a week. You know,
They made,
so,
you know when I watched that, they made it sound like he didn't.
and
They didn't even tour that much. They made
oh,
it sound
man.
like they like toured, for maybe a decade and just after that, like, because after this, the Abbey.
Beatles?
Not
I mean,
the
they
Abbey.
didn't tour for that many years, but I mean, a good number of years, and
What
they
about
did it heavily during the time though, and it was just
Right.
the point
yeah.
was like
That's
how
probably, they were
Beatle, it
everywhere,
was the heart of
probably.
Beatlemania. It's like that was such a crazy thing, you know. A band could tour and like have an easy tour. It's not like you're being rushed by like mobs of people. It's like you have
Right.
that whole thing,
Yeah,
that
that's
whole
like on a
madness of
different end of the
Beatlemania. But
spectrum, dude.
anyway,
That's like-
they brought up the civil rights in that documentary. They were talking about how the Beatles were talking about this how. I don't know. I don't know how it is in England at the time over there, but
Right.
they were saying coming to England, like when they would start to tour in the South, there were some places that wanted to have like segregated audiences, and the Beatles were like, no, we're not gonna
Nah,
do
we
that.
ain't gonna
That's
do that.
not cool at
That's
all.
dope, dude. Yeah. I
So that was
forgot
something
had
that they,
in there.
they risked their popularity, I guess, among some people in the U.S.
Yeah.
for taking a stand against,
Imagine
what's
being in
right.
that era and like being like the Beatles
Like,
were.
that's
You
a
almost
crazy era.
you made it sound like they were in the position to be like, you know what? Like, imagine being like looked at as like, why the fuck would they do that? And all you were doing is like, no, why would you guys separate everybody? Like,
It's
you're
like,
all
yeah, what
living in the
fuck?
same fucking state, like the same town. How the fuck are you not gonna like be a part of each other's community?
Mhm.
I mean, I guess it's human nature, right? To be
Human
somewhat
behavior.
prejudiced towards different people or
Well, it's
different
human behavior,
things.
yeah, if you're brought up in a ways.
Yeah.
And then people were kind of brought up in an oppressed way, because even if you weren't racist, at that time, back then, like saying, like, someone like the Beatles saying, like, oh, it's not cool to have a segregated audience. Someone to, like, actually, someone who's famous or something like that to
Right.
come out and say something against that, that's like a new thing at the time.
Yeah, dude. That
People
like,
just
probably
didn't.
took some
People
balls.
just didn't talk about
Right.
shit in the past, really. Until, because I mean, way back in the past, if you would have said anything about it, you'd probably be killed or something.
Right,
It'd be
right.
a lot of violence taken out against you. But the '60s or whatever, by that time, people were evolving more to be able to speak out without too much repercussion.
Yeah.
Or at least in not death or something, right?
Right, right.
So someone like the Beatles were able to say that, and other people did too, take a stand, and everyone started to be like, yeah, this isn't right.
It's kind of beautiful how like the English and American like music cultures blended together eventually, and like now you'll hear a band, you're like, man, I don't even know if these guys are, I mean, some of them you can tell. Block Party, that band is, I mean, I love that band, but the vocalist, you can tell he does his vocals, he puts that accent in there. And puts that British accent in there. It's like, but the Beatles never did that. Like, not on purpose.
Oh,
at least,
the Beatles, because they talked about that too. Like,
Did
the way they sing, they sound like normal, without an accent.
Yeah.
Singing is because when they were coming up, being influenced, they were influenced by American artists.
Yeah, yeah.
The American
'Cause
rock
they had
and
more
roll and shit at the
exposure
time.
to like American, like the South
Yeah.
music, like the
So that's why they just I don't know, they sounded that way.
So I just thought outside. I was like, I've really had a tendency to not like I've had an urge not to kill a bug near me. Like all my life, I've been as soon as I see a fucking bug, I smash it. Especially if it's in the house, which I'll still do. If I see a spider on my wall, you better believe it's gonna be dead. But like just a bit ago before we started recording or whatever, this fucking stink bug or whatever they call them stink bugs now, but
yeah,
it was brown little beetle looking motherfucker.
right.
We had landed on
Yeah.
the ashtray over there, and I was like, well, let's not kill it. I don't know why. Lately, I've just been like, well, I mean, because at work I'll see ants walking through the hallways. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a line, and I'll be like,
They're just trying to get an education.
yeah, they're just trying to get some extra credit, man. Yeah, they're just trying to get some.
Ants in the school.
Yeah, I'll just let them go. Spiders, if they ain't near me, I'll let them go.
But then we found the stink bug on the mic.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I let that stink bug go earlier. Came back to this motherfucker. He's just
Like,
chilling on the mic. No, I
look,
don't
bud.
think so, bud. You had your chance.
Stay in your place.
You tested your fate, and I guess your faith was not strong enough.
I mean,
because-
I've gotten to the... Yeah, I've kind of... I'm such a peaceful person.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I think,
I'll like release bugs if I can. If they're in the house, I'll throw them out. Because,
Yeah.
well, you know, usually I find them in the kitchen, and we got the screen door, so I'm just like, meh.
For the longest time, I
if
thought
they're
that
too
was
small-
just the dumbest thing for somebody. I was like, why? Who
Oh, they're just
cares?
bugs.
You know?
They're just bugs. But then it's like, I mean, we kind of...
Sometimes when I'm in a vulnerable state, I'm like, oh, man, I feel kind of bad for the
We've
guy,
done,
you know?
I mean, I don't know, I'm sure you, but for me, I can say, yeah, I've done enough psychedelics to where I'm just like, kind of like, I wouldn't want to...
Right, exactly. I put myself in that bug shoes.
I'm
like,
more
man, I'm just trying
compassionate
to
about
fucking...
it. He's just another living organism.
Yeah, it's just another living being.
You know, because... And maybe, well, just being younger, you would kill bugs because you kill bugs, but... I mean, we kind of know things now, like bugs...
Like consciousness.
The bugs
and
will
shit,
feel
and
pain.
Even if they don't have consciousness, they can feel
or
pain.
even if they
yeah.
feel a different kind of pain, it's like they know, you know, it's not pleasant.
Either way, you'd be ending... you know, either way, I think the root of it for me is just like the way I... You know, and I'll still kill bugs, like I said.
I have to kill it if it's a spider.
But
or
if I'm
something.
hesitant, I know it's because like I'm thinking, all right, I'm about to end some form of life that started, you know, whether a day ago as a bug, fly, or a spider, whatever, or you know, a year ago, a big ass spider or some shit. I guess that's why I'm like starting to become hesitant, but I'll still kill some fucking bugs.
I mean, I got to kill them. You know, if they're too little, it's like a infestation. I got to kill the ants.
Like in
and
my
that
house,
kinda
it's
shit.
a totally different story. But like, I guess since been at work and I don't know if they don't run into me, that's cool. But if they do,
If it's a quick little prey bug, or not prey, but like predator bug, or
Mhm.
something, it's like, oh yeah, you can have spiders in your house. They kill other insects, but it's
Right.
like, look, I can't be having this.
you know, gnats. I think
Centipedes or something.
it's probably all how you're introduced to it too. Because like, if a gnat lands on my hand, and I'm not being bothered by gnats by my head, or you know, they're not flying in my ears or eyes or nose, I'll like, I could just sit there and look at it as long as it's not fucking around and trying to. I don't know what the fuck they do, but if it's flying around my fucking head, I'll see an ad on my fucking hand and I'll smack the shit out of it.
Mhm.
No, hell no.
I mean, I would never hurt a bug outside unless it's like attacking me. Yeah, like on me, fucking with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes if they're
You
on me, I
would
don't care.
never-
I'll brush it off. But like, I mean, mosquitoes are dead.
Like, how strongly do you feel about that? You would never do that?
I'm saying, I mean, I wouldn't.
You usually
I
don't, is
wouldn't
what you
kill a
mean.
bug just to kill a bug. I have no
Mhm.
desire to kill. I would kill a bug if I had to kill a bug. It's doing something to me. It's gonna hurt me. Or,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, if it's like on me, you know, brush it off. But if it keeps fucking with me, I'll hit it harder.
Mhm.
Get the fuck away.
It's not a dog, Cody. If you hit it harder, it might die. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to keep testing your,
Right, yeah.
like you said, testing your fucking whatever,
Yep.
like you're gonna learn. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm saying, I don't kill bugs just because.
For the fun of it, yeah. I'm not
It's
out
like that
there with
old
a
Joe
magnifying
Rogan bit, you
glass.
know. It's like if you see a trail of ants outside, have a good
Mhm.
luck with the candy wrapper, fellas. Have a good day. Like, yeah, I've never like just for no reason.
Right. I see some. I didn't know. See some fuck with a candy wrapper. Hey, have a good day, fellas.
Good luck with this.
Good find.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they're in your kitchen. It's like,
Yeah.
nope, I got food in here. This is
Mhm.
my food, bitch.
In your kitchen yet?
Mine and the bacteria that's on it. That's the only food it is gonna be.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, we were talking before about the, well, you know, just the internet and human communication and
Mhm.
shit, and like how, I know you had mentioned, it's like we know so much about people we don't know anything about. You know, like acquaintances posting shit on Facebook, and we said there's like a line between, it's good for them to communicate with their close friends and family all at once on a Facebook or whatever, but then
Right.
again, it's subjected to like all of the other people who like, why do we know this shit? And I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. That's why, you know, we'd react in that way because it's a new thing to be exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
These like people you hardly know or like acquaintances. Like I know so much about them, and that's weird. You know,
Yeah.
I guess. And so it's the normal reaction to be like, wow, that's strange. But I don't know. Do you think like maybe over time it's something that would be normalized? You'd tend
You know
to.
what? Yeah, I was just thinking
Would it-
that. while
I
you were
always
saying
thought
that,
like,
I
would
was
it make, or should it make, and could it, or would it make like humans more compassionate towards each other? Like.
I think it might have
To where
a
if
good
anyone
play
did
in
post
that,
some bad
yeah.
shit, you would feel bad because you know we're all
Right.
connected.
You
now.
see a video on Facebook of like somebody getting beat up, and you're just like, you know.
but
I mean,
a lot
not
of
if
times
it
World Star or
right.
it's
Not
funny,
if the setup's
it's a
like
funny,
old boy does something wrong, and then old
Right.
boy smacks the shit out of him. Like
if it's
if
like,
the setup's like to the videos like, oh, somebody abused this dog, or somebody kidnapped some dude and beat him up, or you know, somebody trashed this Uber driver's car. It's like you feel for those people. Like, I think it definitely plays. It's gonna play a even bigger role as time goes on, because like you said, generation after ours, which I don't know what that's gonna be called. I don't even know what's our generation called.
We're all millennials, but I've heard that it's like on a weird timeline. A
They were
millennial.
going by numbers or
I've heard
letters before, weren't they?
I've heard Generation X or something. But the whole timeline is very confusing. I think generations need to be like described on a fucking
personal subjective.
I think they need to be, to make it less confusing. It should be described on like a decade basis.
Exactly. Yeah.
90 to 99.
Right.
2000 to 2009. Like that would be way easier just to have terms for that, the people born between then. Because I've heard it described as like millennials as far back as like 1980. It's like, what? Why? I thought, where's Generation X or whatever?
Right.
Fucking baby boomers. It's all kind of molds together depending who you talk to sometimes.
So yeah, I guess millennial would be an all-encompassing, not all-encompassing, but
I think millennials.
A lot of.
I think millennials should be like 2000 and up, you know, but that's not the case. People.
No, like I think millennials
are like 30.
Should be like 90s and up, maybe.
Yeah, I know that's usually what it is.
92. You're 92, right?
Yeah, I mean it's usually like 90 and up, but some say it's like 80 and up. It's like, I don't know, it's fucking dumb.
It was weird. It's like, you know, every generation's been through, and I'm not saying the millennials, us as millennials, haven't been through shit, really, when you compare it to, like, World War and
we've seen some interesting, shit. We've been in an interesting place. We've seen the technology, I mean, you know, a lot of people have seen crazy shit in recent times. Even in the 1800s, you've seen a boom with, like, industry, like steel mills and, like, building railroads and all this crazy industry shit, so that's kind of exciting. And then early 1900s, you had airplanes, motorcycles, and cars started coming out, so it started getting crazier. And then, you know, as you got older, radio, well, and even back in the 1800s, like telegraph or whatever, as far as communication, then like, radio and phones and TVs and all that shit in the mid 1900s, you know.
Right.
And then late 1900s with us, like the technological boom has been insane, because really, like, dude, like, seriously, like, pre-2000, it's like the fucking old world now. It's like, especially once we get farther away from it, it's going to be so different. Like, you know, I remember...
That's what I'm saying. There's going to be kids that can't imagine being able to...
Kids are, like, little kids now...
across the country or...
Little kids now won't, like, when they grow up, they're like, what do you mean you didn't have tablets to... Because little kids just have tablets now. I always see
what do you mean your class didn't each get a laptop?
Yeah. All babies, you know, like, I see every baby playing with a tablet. For you guys?
Like Chromebooks and shit?
Yeah. And, I mean, it's crazy. Like, we've seen... Like, we're the last generation, I think, that has seen, like, the old shit. Like, you know,
you think so?
Big-ass box TVs. And, I mean, that was crazy to older people, obviously. But, like, we remember, like, you know... When I was
some of that stuff,
in my first house, we had a rotary phone.
Like, kids, like, our age, they're having kids. I feel like a lot of them... And, dude, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know, this is my perspective. I don't have a kid. I just know a lot of people that have kids my age and, like, a little older, a little younger. But, seems like the old traditional ways aren't as much being taught. And I mean traditional ways as in, like, what you're saying. Like, how things used to be being taught as in, like... What's that mean it's going to? Being taught as in, like, showing your kids how things used to be and how good you have it and how different things used to be, because that's what really needs to be going down if you have children, is like to let them grasp the full concept of where their life is at. Like, even at an early age, I doubt they'll be able to grasp it that early, but if you, like, kind of train them and get them ready, like, you're expanding their mind, constantly telling them, you know, this is how it used to be. But really, Dad? You know what I'm saying? Really, Mom? Like,
yeah.
You know, what? And then they go tell their friends, you know, you didn't know that? Like, yeah. You know, they used to have, like, horses that carried fucking, like, plows and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they dragged plows. And a dude would just stand behind and walk all day throughout the field or some shit, you know?
Oh, man.
That's crazy, because farming will probably all be robotic at some point, right?
Plows used to be wooden.
I don't know why McDonald's hasn't become... like a factory style, like mechanical arms putting your bread and your shit together. Why
Dude,
not?
You know what's
because
crazy
you
is
would never have a fucked up order.
That's gonna be one of the big issues in the next decades and things. Automation is coming, you know, and like people complain because we're fucking losing our jobs. People are freaking out because that's what's gonna happen. More and more people are gonna lose their jobs if they're working a basic job that's easily replaceable by machines. At some point, you know, like,
and a fast food, I feel like it would be most replaceable one.
So people freak out because people are losing jobs. There's going to be greater income gap inequality and shit. Poor is going to get poorer. The richer will get richer. Yeah, but we can. Yeah, that's fine.
Just
but
because we're eating right now.
Right. But it is crazy, the income gap is going to keep going with automation, and people are like, fuck our jobs. That's why. But, the more automation comes along, I secretly, get happy. I'm like, good. The more jobs we lose, fucking good. I don't give a fuck. I hope
right, because then there will have to be another system put in place,
yeah, that's
right?
what I'm saying. Humans are going to be...
people won't be able...
humans are going to be forced to realize,
this
isn't going
to just sit by and watch our, fellow humans fucking just fall into the abyss because that their, McDonald's job got taken. I would think that, hopefully as a country or as a people, we'd figure out a system to where...
people are going to realize, we can't be doing this, And I think what the first thing should happen or could happen is they're really going to have to seriously consider a minimum income, provide for people to pay for shelter and, food, be able to fucking live.
Would that be like communism, though? I mean, I don't know what communism is.
No, we could keep our same government system. The government would just have to allocate money to give people an income, and that'd be hard, and there'd be a lot of criticisms of we don't have the money, but the whole idea is you do that is you're going to, clear up a lot of the problems that would be associated with poverty and all this and that from people not being able to fucking get by,
Right,
if you at least make people get by, because that's what's going to happen is there's going to be less and less jobs, so this greater fucking income gap and all this shit, so people are going to be freaking out, but that's, I think it's good. I'm happy when people lose their jobs because, to be honest, because, it's going to, yeah, fuck them, I wish my job, I can't wait till my job gets replaced by robots. I don't give a fuck,
right.
Because, it's going to force, it's going to force people to realize, right, it's going to force people to realize, we can't be living like this anymore, this, the way we've been running society, people have to, think the way society runs is, this, end all be all idea
it's not
society
perfect.
The way society runs needs to be evolving all the time. We're still running society like we did 200-300 years ago.
That's the same for humans, just like humans, we gotta evolve.
Humans evolve, species evolve.
Maybe not technically
adapt,
with society, but alongside.
But society is gonna have to move away from this monetary shit, and I'm not saying
eventually, I mean, look at social security.
I'm not even saying socialism or communism. I'm against, I'm against all isms and shit.
Right,
we need to move towards some kind of resource.
I feel like I'm more neutral if anything. I mean, I only know capitalism, right?
Yeah.
From growing up here.
Yeah, exactly.
I only know
Same.
that.
But I think we really should. It's gonna call into question. We should really consider. We need to transition to something else. And I think a resource-based economy. There's problems with communism, socialism, fascism, whatever those other kind of social constructs. There's always problems with those, and there's always going to be problems with those because of money and scarcity. Because money can create scarcity and artificial scarcity, So that's just
artificial scarcity.
Yeah, contributing to more income gap. But
I got you. Yeah.
Artificial scarcity, even for example, not of a real it could happen in all areas, artificial scarcity of depriving people of certain resources just because they don't have the money, or it's a money issue. They're not the resources are there, but we don't have the money. It's
right,
weird.
Yeah.
So it's becoming to a point where it's coming to a point where the monetary system is gonna it's impeding or whatever technological process and shit. Progress. In human. Just development.
What does Jacques Fresco say? He says technology is supposed to free us.
Yeah.
From doing
it's gonna have
thing.
to. Hopefully, it will. But we're getting to a point where money is holding us back from technological process and social evolution.
You're right. Yeah, it's
So I think we need to move towards something better, away from money, because it's just weird now. Because with artificial scarcity, an example of that would be not even that could happen for real resources like food or water, but just for an example, there's artificial scarcity with diamonds, diamonds, the huge industry of wedding rings and shit. Diamonds.
They're afraid they're gonna run out of them.
No, diamonds and jewelry are so expensive, right? Yeah, for no reason.
For fucking why?
Dude, diamonds are
fucking why? Bro.
You gotta mine diamonds. It's not like they're fucking laying in the grass, but diamonds are everywhere because they're made out of carbon, and carbon is fucking everything. Basically on this planet, it's everywhere. So the point is, the diamond industry, has, and they do if they have excess diamonds, they fucking destroy them, just to keep the market, low.
Jesus.
Keep a low inflow of diamonds on the market, so the price is high.
Yes, yeah.
There could be lots of diamonds, but and they
Supply
could be
and demand,
cheap.
right?
Yeah, they could be cheap, but like that's just a small example, and that's not like food or water or anything. But that's
Yeah.
just a small example of like keeping something scarce just to increase profits or whatever. But
It's smart.
it's just the
It's
whole
smart as fuck.
right. But it's just the whole problem of hindering technological progress. Money. Because we can't develop things because it costs
Just
too
can't
much
afford
money.
it.
It's
Yeah,
like, well, the
yeah.
resources
Well,
are there
you have
usually.
everything to do what you need to do. Like,
We need to
it's
work
weird to
on.
think like nothing. I'm sorry to cut you
No,
real
that's
quick,
cool.
but it's weird to think that nothing on this in this garage even with all these fucking all this equipment that can do so much shit is all built from materials of the earth.
Right, it's so fucking strange.
That's
Like,
insane.
dude, if you could, how does this even exist? All these weird artificial like materials, that we've created, plastics and rubbers and fucking all this stuff. It's insane, right? And how
Yeah, it's
we've
beautiful.
worked the earth like wood and like stone and stuff into buildings and whatever. But that's insane, yeah. But yeah, it's all very crazy shit. We're in a crazy time, so.
When you have that line, you got a line that says "stuck in the age of Pisces." What does that mean?
Oh, people just attribute the current age as Pisces.
The current age is Pisces. Until
Yeah.
when?
Huh?
Until when?
That's disputed. Some say right around 2012 with that whole Mayan calendar thing.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
even attributed that.
Oh
just
yeah,
to
we
be
wrote that a while back. Too.
They even
Shout out to
attributed that
Tribes.
just to be like the ending of the what is it? I can't remember the cosmic age. It's like the 12
like
your signs, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Aquarius and shit. So some people said it might have changed around 2012 possibly. That's why the Mayan calendar ended there or whatever, but it could be the end of the
right now, real quick.
it could be the end of the age. But then I've heard it speculated that the age won't end until like 2150 or even further ahead. Who knows? 2500 or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's known for sure, but yeah, it's just like the
Well, I mean, what does the age of Pisces stand for, though? Like, what does it symbolize?
Pisces is the two fish, and that's the whole why people think Christianity is like kind of how it is, because in this age, that whole story, how there's lots of fish symbolism and shit in Christianity or whatever. But
Yeah, probably a lot of parables, probably.
so the next age is Aquarius, though. From what I hear.
Age of Pisces, it says.
Yeah, where Jamie? Pull that shit up.
Right.
We need.
Yeah, I got it right here, Joe.
Got it right here.
Says some astrologers claim the age of Pisces is the current age, and they believe it will remain so for approximately another 600 years.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, the vernal equinox point will have moved into the constellation of Aquarius, thus beginning the age of Aquarius, which your boy is an Aquarius. I don't know what that means, though. I mean, I don't get, like, what, what does it mean for the world? If somebody made that up, what the fuck does it mean then,
It's just, we're just measuring the stars and shit, following the movement of the planets and stars.
I'm looking up,
That's really all it is.
What is the age of Aquarius? Or what does it mean?
The
Astrologers maintain that in this astrological age. Okay, here we go. An astrological age is a product of the Earth's slow precessional rotation and lasts for 2,160 years on average.
Yeah.
So that's 26,000 years period of 26,000 year period of precession over 12 zodiac signs.
Yeah, it's like the precession of the equinoxes.
It's like divided over. There are various methods of calculating the length of an astrological age. Still not getting what does it mean to be Pisces? Let's look that up, because the age of Pisces is the 12th sign of the.
It means you like seafood and you I don't know. I don't follow horoscope shit. The horoscopes say like.
Feelings define Pisces, and it's not. Oh, dude, that's kind of crazy.
What?
And it's not uncommon for them to feel their own burdens and joys, as well as those of others. The intuition of the Pisces born is highly evolved. That's kind of funny. It's so funny because it's like so abstract and nondescript that you can. I can totally say that is definitely the age that we're living in. Everything's based off feeling. That's why the music has gone to shit. Is because, and I'm not saying totally gone to shit, but mainstream music.
That's an interesting argument too. Like, why is music mainstream? Because, the simple catchy
Beethoven
shit
wasn't mainstream, was he? Like back in his day?
Dude, yeah, I think the people that we know of as classical greats were popular
highly
during the time.
revered
Most of it.
and
Well,
shit.
you do read like Beethoven, and yeah, they did have shitty lives. Yeah, where they probably were more popular after they died.
Right.
Some of them, yeah, but they still that's what they did for a living, right? You know, they were fucking
That's why I like
composers.
the
So
NPR. I think that's the station, or IPR maybe, the classical station. And
oh,
they play.
yeah,
I
Iowa
don't even
Public
know who
Radio
it
does
is, and
it.
I'm like, damn. I could be spacing out just thinking. I
Sometimes
think
they say who it is, but yeah.
classical music is like the best for like
Oh
thinking.
yeah, I
It
love
does,
it.
and I never realized because I think it took a little time for my mind to mature and be able to focus on certain things. But like when I'm in the car listening to some like I'll put on that station, dude, 91.7, I think.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, and I'll just zone out. Like I'll realize something, it's
Oh
probably
yeah.
not good, but I'm like, oh fuck, I'm driving. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I just
People
had
do
the
that all the
craziest,
time.
I had the craziest dream, bro.
People do that all the time. I just drove for miles. I
Right.
didn't pay attention at all.
But it's like that shit. Like every thought, almost eventually you can, and it's happened to me, and I'm sure it happens to anybody, especially if you take psychedelics or something. But you don't even you're not even listening to it. You're thinking or you're talking to somebody.
Mhm.
And you can tell the music. You eventually you just see the music swelling up as the conversation's moving up, as the conversation's heightening, and you're both getting, you and your buddy or whoever is getting on that level of
Right.
connection, and like, it's like looking at the stars, man. I used to be out there with, the whole 2-3 crew, just looking at the stars for like an hour or two at a time, talking though. We're all our heads are just kinked up here, looking at the stars, and I swear, like almost every time, when it was like a really significant moment and we were all hanging out, we would see something like a shooting star, what do they call it? What else do they call it? Shooting star.
You see a meteor or comet
meteorite
or something.
Yeah, a comet. And it would go off as soon as the conversation was heightened, and as soon as we'd all be like, yeah. It, you know what I'm saying? Like all agree on something. It was,
That's crazy.
And of course, a lot of people are going to say it's the human mind that just, make connecting the dots where they don't even need to be connected. But, I mean, it's beautiful, though. I'm glad that it does that
dope.
because otherwise we wouldn't hold any moment in our life significant if we couldn't connect the dots like that.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Dude, yeah, well, yeah, just so many finding significance in little things.
Mm-hmm.
Because that does happen where it's like, wow, that's insane. It's insane how everything's worked out so far in our lives, really. I mean, for me, anyway. It's
no.
and for lots of people,
feel you, man. If you look back on it and you compare it to like the lives of others who have been and who are still, like, it makes me at least super thankful.
A lot of people have crazy lives, and it's crazy how their paths
we could have been
intertwine.
in way worse positions than we are now.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's what like a lot of people, a lot of the SJWs you see on Facebook, talking about white privilege, this, white privilege, that. Most of the people that are saying that are white privileged ass college students whose dad paid for their courses, paid for their schooling, and now all of a sudden they got brainwashed by. I just feel like. Why are professors and teachers able to express political views when you shouldn't? When you're not able to express religious views, right?
Academia is such a weird place, dude. Like it's
you don't want somebody you're supposed to look up to, like a professor or a teacher, even being like telling you, all right. Anybody would, a lot of people at least, mostly these days, would fucking stand up and start hollering if they heard their kid's teacher was telling them about Christianity or creationism.
Yeah. Well, I think
rightly so, because I just feel like, I'm sorry, but my bad.
No.
I feel like if you're gonna express political views, you shouldn't be all one side, because especially in college, those, I think a lot of professors just, it's more of a personable thing. Like, they don't really probably look at themselves as a mentor. Well, no, I take that back. They don't. When you think about teaching in elementary or like junior high, you think, all right, these are young minds I have to mold. And it almost seems like it went to shit. Like, I didn't go to fucking college. I'm kind of glad. I'm also like, there's part of me that regrets not going and furthering my knowledge of things of the world.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have known what to get into anyway. Who knows? I could have ended up in a class where some radical dude was talking about, I mean, it's cool if you fucking let somebody fuck your girlfriend, that's, or, some weird shit, like, well, it's, okay, but why should I listen to this person? And people don't ask that too often.
I think I think it was wise, like, and it would be best if people who are like professors and shit, you should hold open beliefs. Like you shouldn't educate one-sided as far as your political belief. Even,
and I'm talking
like,
shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I just think it's
really.
a shame when people are political as far as I'm left, I'm right. That's a fucking shame because you're just
straight up
buying into this whole team mentality. This, I think, I'm just gonna say that I think most critical thinkers, open-minded people, you're fucking moderate, like you're in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't think any truly intelligent person is like fucking all one-sided, left or right. I don't think that's right at all.
It's just like science.
So, and I think that's how if you're a professor, yeah, if you're like a professor, I would hope that you were like a moderate, like telling kids about the left and the right, and
right, exactly,
both sides. Not being like, this is the left and I'm gonna praise it because I'm left, and I'm gonna demonize the right, or I'm gonna demonize the left and praise the right because I'm.
Who knows? Maybe there are like.
Oh, there's good people out there, but there's plenty of them that And the problem is, academia. I think it's always been pretty liberal, which is a good thing. But it kind of sometimes gets crazy, right? Again, with being so far left or so far right, that shit gets weird and stupid.
Because but you're not following your own heart, your own fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
or even like the heart of somebody that's good. Like if you're focused like that, like you're saying, extremely left or extremely right. Like what, what are you missing out? What are you cutting out? Like yin and yin and yang, right?
Yeah.
Like yin and yang. No, but the both half and half, right?
Yeah.
And what was old boy saying? Like, yeah. Anyway, it is like that. I mean, those people in those classes, like, I can't blame the professors and I can't blame like teachers like that. I guess you can only really blame whoever's eating it up without questioning it.
And it's because...
Hasn't that always been, like, the punk rock thing, to question authority? And now, like, the authority is telling you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Like,
right,
you should be
you should always be... Even if it's something you agree with, you should... Yeah, even if it's something you agree with, you should be questioning the opposite side, too, just to hear it. You should be open to all this arguments. But what's funny with,
it
academics...
sucks, though, because it's hard to, like... eat your own shit. Maybe that's a bad metaphor, but it's hard to be like
put your own beliefs under scrutiny.
Yeah,
or something,
in front of somebody else when you're like having a quote unquote debate, or say you're at the bar and like I've been at the bar plenty of times just chatting with somebody, and it doesn't get heated per se, but it gets more intense when we're both like expressing ideas. And I think it takes training for sure, because I haven't gotten there yet, to be able to listen to somebody's total in the opposite end of the spectrum ideas from yours, and then go home at the end of the night, or reflect on it and be like, try to pick something up from it, or even if it's the fact that this person's realization that this person's a person, whether our ideals match up or not. Like you said, if you're not moderate, you're taking a side, and that's a strong stance to take. I don't like hanging out with people like that.
Yeah, no,
and that's why I don't want to hang out with kids that are more loose, the stoner type, the fucking, a lot of them, if not all of them, are fucking, well, no, a lot of them are, like, more, would probably identify as, like, towards the left. I think, like you said, that's good. That's a good way to, open yourself, but now it's just become a political, it's too political. Yeah. It's not humanistic anymore. It's not the good and the bad of humans.
It's fucking a football game.
Both political parties have changed their stories over the years, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying?
Parties have evolved, yeah.
Yeah, they've, like everything in the universe, right?
Now everything's so weird in politics, but again, like you were saying with academics.
Dude, now the social media is involved with politics.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's like what we were talking about earlier.
Again, the Twitter platforms.
With politics, we got a president that's tweeting all the time.
It's not that we got a president that's tweeting. We got a president that's tweeting at 3 a.m. on an unsecured phone, and I don't care. It's funny, but
is that really what happened?
That's what people. That's what they say. He's on at 3 a.m. Like, dude, that's what it says, and people are like, "Oh, he's using an unsecured phone. What the fuck?"
That's what Joe Rogan says.
I think it's pretty funny, but it's like, damn, what the fuck is going on? But you were saying like academics. it's funny because those professors in like universities, they get tenured. You know, they get
What does that
tenured.
mean? I've
So
always heard that.
you're there for like long enough or whatever to where you get tenured, and you basically can't really get fired unless you do something completely horrendous
Right.
or crime or
Fuck a
something
student or something.
or something.
Like that, right?
But like or an actual crime. But yeah, you really can't get
I guess
fired.
that's
So
not a
that's
crime.
why I think people are starting to they talk about their political beliefs more, you know, crazily. You know, like onto these
I
kids.
think it's to do.
Because, dude, in obviously not in elementary school because they're pretty young, but in junior high or high school, the teachers ain't talking about that kind of shit. You know, like
Oh,
they are
yeah.
in the universities because
It's very neutral.
it's so
in,
easy for like a
junior
teacher to get
high and-
fired. It seems like if you're not a tenured professor,
Yeah, if
right?
you're not a professor, in
You're like on the
college.
fucking ropes, fucking
Right,
say
right.
one bad thing. That's why I never thought like it's a super pretty noble to be a teacher. I guess,
Yeah,
especially
I mean, that takes
especially in
lot
this country, the way you get
of,
paid. But
patience. It takes a lot of wanting, like a lot of motivation to want to help and like.
and I think it's cool, but like with my, I always thought like I could never be a teacher, even if I'm good at teaching, because I just have crazy thoughts and I would say
I
the
just
wrong
wanna
thing.
implement my thoughts into somebody else.
No, I would
Yeah.
just say the wrong. I'm just too open, and I would say the wrong shit, and then I'm
You get
fired,
for
and
sure, right?
you know, I have to stand in front of the podium like I'm sorry, very regrettable
Your head
decision,
down,
and,
yeah. Just because you want to go on a fucking
and
cruise
just
next year.
just because I have to get rehired somehow because I'm reliant on a job. No,
I mean,
I don't know, but it's crazy.
You're right.
So,
It is a lot more
So these
like, strict with high school and junior high.
and these professors can't get fired, so it's like, and that's funny because you know the high schoolers or even junior high, if like the teacher fucks a student, they get fired. What about in college? Yeah, is that grounds for termination? Even
I
if you're
think there's
tenured?
probably a difference between like universities. I'm sure
Like,
some have like a rule where you cannot
could actually-
engage in outside in conduct, but then again, they're all adults, right?
They're all adults.
You
Yeah, it's
I don't
funny,
have a problem with a professor fucking a student as
it's a
long
totally
as
funny
he's
situation.
not brainwashing them, right? You know, like or she, whatever. You know,
Nah, yeah, that's funny shit. But yeah, who knows? It's all very strange.
or them, or they, or ziz, or zer.
Ziz and zers and z's and y's and x's. But yeah, it's craziness.
Should brought some weed out here.
It's a crazy time we live in. But
We should have brought some weed out here.
next time, but this is a good podcast, you know?
It is good. We're gonna keep talking because
Yeah.
I don't feel like stopping yet.
Yeah, fuck. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Let me tell you a little bit about what's going on with me, and I'd like you to do the same.
Okay.
And you already know most of this, but ain't no. Yeah. Actually, it's better that we fucking repeat ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If anything, it reaffirms what we were sure of or weren't sure of. You know.
Yeah.
But with like, you know, I got this. You stopped recording?
Keep going. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Oh, with like blah, blah. This job recently. You remember how I was acting? You know, last time we even tried to MOBCAST, it was like all I could think about was not having a job. And
Oh, yeah, you know.
or last time we talked, I don't think it was last time we MOBCAST, but last time we kicked it, and I didn't have that gig yet, and then I got it, and you were stoked for me, which I appreciate. You've always been hella supportive. You know what I'm saying? As I would to you. But I was like, once I got it, I'm just like, man, this is not what I... Of course, it wasn't going to be what I was expecting it was going to be. I was expecting to just be able to zone out every day, clean shit, and make hella money.
Yeah.
Or better money than I am making. And now now I've gone through the motions of it, I guess you can say. But I'm used to the work and like the people I have to work with, all the old dudes. It's just, I've never been one to talk a lot during work. I don't like talking, unless I got like BJ working with me. Or, you know, or like somebody my age. But now it's really like I do not like talking because these dudes like to talk about, you know, I don't care about it. You know, whatever they want to talk about, it's like half the time I don't give a shit. And then I'll talk about shit that they don't care about at all. Like I told them that story. I told them a story about how, you know, in middle school.
Oh, yeah, you want to tell them this story?
Yeah, fuck it, we'll go into this. But alright, hold on. Yeah, I told them this story, and they kind of laughed, but you know, I was holding back on telling them because it's such a nasty story. I'm working in a high school, for God's sakes, and I tell a story about one of them in middle school. And
oh, God.
do something deplorable, like. But I tell them this, and that's the kind of people they are. They're all from out there. They all went to that high school. They're all old dudes that went to Rock Ridge, you know, say like out in the boonies. So that gets on my nerves a lot. But now I'm going to day shift, and I can see actually like it's nice to be able to see, you know, because if you have a job where you're putting in hella work and you don't see yourself moving up at all, why the fuck are you there? You know, especially if you're not making that much money. I feel like, you know. And like you said, I wish it wasn't like a monetary, you know, system, but it is. You have to play the game for now, at least, if you want to fucking survive.
Of course, yes.
We're both doing that.
Yeah,
we're all really doing
and my
that,
thing is, I'm trying to get away from the game, right? I'm trying to do things to where I can live self-sufficiently for the most part, or generate my own money where I don't have a boss, you know.
Live self-sufficiently.
So good luck with that. But
yeah, I don't know. So, anyway, I was just rambling,
but yeah,
it's turned out to be. You know, I'm gonna start working days now for the summer, so it'll be like 3 months of just sweat my balls off till like 2:30 p.m. You know, as opposed to like, getting off at midnight, going home, eating one meal throughout the whole day at midnight when I get home, and then I go to sleep, and then I wake up feeling like shit, like I don't even want to go into work.
Oh God, yeah, I know. I'm really thankful I finally gotten to a point in my life where I got a schedule that I have. Cause
And you made that happen because, I mean, you worked there for a while.
I made it happen just because, went through the motions and kind of seniority, but worked my way up from the bottom. And
well, it's more impressive, really, because that's a, you know, line of work. That's a environment and business that you really, not a lot of times are you going to move up. You know, because they don't have many managers there. It's a small fucking building, you know. I'm thinking I could probably become supervisor in a year and a half, maybe, if I wanted to.
It's like if I wasn't trying
I'm sure if you wanted to do that, anybody really could. But, like, you, for real, did that. Like, you worked there, you left there on good terms. And you came back on even better terms, being like, yo, if you're going to have me working these hours, you know, this and that, I'm going to need to be paid this much.
Oh, what the fuck?
Interrupt. That's Tyler White right there.
Turn that shit off. Yeah.
Tyler White. Hold on.
This motherfucker.
Alright, sorry about that, man.
Alright.
Sorry, what were you saying?
But, you know, like, I'm focused on doing my own thing at work. You're saying I kind of moved up. Like, you know, I started out as a shitty crew member, shitty money. Now my manager was still shitty money. But, I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah, it feels like that too, because you don't start out.
I need 15 an hour, you know.
Right.
I mean, it's fucked up. Everyone's always against the minimum.
I'd rather.
We're not gonna wait. You can't raise the minimum wage. Just gonna raise prices. Like, okay.
I'd rather see like a Poncheros get more than, you know, like get 15 an hour than like a McDonald's, where their shit can literally be run by like machines. You guys have to have like a finesse. I want this much sauce. You know, the people tell you I want one, you know, a little less pico or something like that. You know, they're right there watching. It's kind
of weird, but it could be automated so easy. Let's do it.
It could be automated for sure. But do you think people prefer that human aspect of it? Like you're telling somebody. That sounds a little perverse.
Yeah, they do until you tell them.
Bad,
they do like that shit. Most people would pay for it until most people you would tell them. Well, your $8 burrito could cost $2, but fuck you guys, bring in the robots. No. Some people are adamant about like I don't like automation because it gets rid of jobs and that sucks because that's kind of, if you ask me, that's like a backwards way of thinking because that's gonna hinder technological progress. It's so we need to do something to where this technological process isn't gonna hurt people.
Yeah, maybe not. No one has jobs, but like a different type of job,
something,
a different market,
just maybe the income and
maybe even to build those machines and like
exactly, you know, like it's kind of in the way like I always thought like you know there's all this pushback from oil companies or whatever because you know no more renewables and people say the technology's not there yet, but it's like accelerating like crazy though. Is it? Solar keeps getting cheaper and stuff, and the battery packs to harness the energy I think are getting better and. Whatever, it's always getting better, right? But I always thought, and then the big pushback is from the big oil companies and shit, you know? That's the ones always fighting, sustainable energy, right? Because we need oil because the money and all this and that. It's like, why don't someone just tell the oil companies to fuck off and be like, look, we're just going to transition you to a sustainable industry.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
you're not doing oil anymore, boys. You're doing solar. Like, you're doing
I mean,
wind.
that's the
It's
type
like,
of shit that's been like.
and
Kept in the
that I know
family
that's
type
silly
shit.
to say because there's oil engineers or whatever you call them, petroleum engineers and shit. So it's a very specified field of knowledge.
Right.
Everyone had to be retrained and everything. But hey, this shit's not easy, and
It
because
does like anything.
it's not gonna
take
be
time,
easy
especially
because
on like a countrywide scale.
because and I think we're using like a antiquated system of running society because I think it needs to evolve and change, and it hasn't. So I think it's antiquated, and so it's gonna be hard to change. So we're gonna have to fucking do something about it, and it's not gonna be easy.
I think a lot of people, including myself, like I'm obviously it's my perspective, so I'm thinking myself, I'd be scared, kind of. I'd be like worried that like, all right, everything's changing now. Now we have to do something different.
Yeah.
Not like we didn't have to do anything before. We had to do something stupid before. We had to go into a fucking shitty 9 to 5 and cook some of these fucking pizza. Like, why the fuck aren't people cooking their own pizzas? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I love getting pizza from somebody else.
Convenience and all this.
But there's always a worry in the back of my head. What? Wait, they're not going to put as much mushrooms as I like on my pizza. Something like that. With robots, we don't have to worry about that shit. Yeah, and it's not any cheaper than making your own fucking pizza, is it? Like, it probably is. Like, it's cheaper? It's not gonna be as good as
a $5 pizza. It could be cheaper. I mean, yeah, it's all about.
Yeah, Little Caesars is shit though.
Exactly.
But like a
Pizza I think it's cheaper crust. To make your own, depending on the type of ingredients and whatever.
It may not be cheaper, but it'd be probably more. Well, obviously, yeah, definitely more quality. If you made something yourself.
I mean, it'd be cheaper of the same quality or more expensive, but a healthier, better quality.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
But it's funny. Like, people are scared of the change. Like, automation, technology, just whatever the fuck's going on in the world. But yeah, as far as the jobs in automation, that's funny. That, like, back in the day, like say 1800s and even previously, like people had to like make their own living, be a farmer, be a tailor, be a baker, be a something.
That would be scary as fuck to run into that job market.
But that was how life was. Like you had to do something. A lot of people were farmers or
You had to literally make your own way. You couldn't just get hired to a company.
Hunters that would hunt the food, and then basic jobs when people started to open like a bed and breakfast or restaurant or this.
I think that's because that
started like
influx
jobs
of more money with those people.
And then again,
they're like, well, I don't have to do this anymore. I can hire somebody else to do it.
And then again with like the influx, the Industrial Revolution, that's manufacturing jobs and shit. And then just around 1900, like started people like going to work for someone else. You could. And that was like an opportunity back then. You could make a good living by just doing some job. And that was kind of nice to some people, it seemed like, right? Oh, I don't have to fucking bust my ass trying to be a farmer somehow.
Right, I don't have to start my own fucking, endeavor,
sometimes it's easier to be on your own. Sometimes you don't want to. And so it's like, oh, I'd love to go work building Model A, Ford, or Model Ts. Or Model Ts and Model As, Ford, something like that, the old assembly line. Once that shit started. And some of the earliest jobs were just fucking shitty laborious jobs like building the railroads and stuff.
Shit that they have machines to do now.
And Chinamen to do back then.
Right.
Which is fucked up. Dude, it's fucked up. But those were some of the early jobs, the horrifically laborious jobs, and then
and not just like
but again with the industry
not just Asian immigrants.
Not just.
It was like what was it? It was like almost every race was
Irish too, I think a lot of
African American. They had black slaves
or just
working on that shit.
Poor white people. Or whatever, but yeah, again, so anyway, people started getting jobs because of, factories and this and that. And that's just how society's, jobs and more restaurants, more whatever, all these occupations that started popping up. And now it's like, with automation coming in, it's forcing people to go back to not having jobs. Now you got to do something
no one
to
knows what they want to do.
Yeah, and now it's like, and what are you going to do? So it's
weird trying to think about that.
It's a lot of shit we got to figure out, but I think we need to be smart, about it, and that's going to be hard for society to be smart about it.
That's for sure.
I don't know. I think maybe you got to make small progress. Continuing. So eventually, more dominoes will fall and shit could come into place if more good things start happening. But it's all very wild shit.
It's crazy shit going on, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It is awesome being alive.
It's the most insane time to be alive. Craziest time. And that's why people are so freaked out. People freaked out about injustice, like
it's
freaking out about how
diverse in thought. I feel like like in thought and then group thought, even like.
Because less people are able to control your thought and
Yeah.
control the main thing is the flow of information.
Imagine like back in World War I, World War II, how America, like a lot of the citizens acted. They were probably all, if not all, the majority of them were all on the same page.
People just didn't have access to information, and now it's a flow of information.
And sometimes it's false information.
Yeah, that's a problem now, right?
That's, for me, that's a big problem. It's like when I'm seeing like something, I'll see like a crazy news article, fucking headline, and of course it's either right or left fueled. It seems like these days. I mean that guy Tim Pool. I don't know if you've seen him on Facebook. He's got some real neutral sounding, like, you know, he makes a point on each side, but yeah, I mean, it's just how often can you believe those things? Whatever post, I don't care if it's the Washington Post or because
sometimes
Fox News. Like, what are you gonna what can I believe, or what's selling?
Well, you know, you gotta sometimes you gotta look at the what the article is tagged under, even if it's a big news site, because it's like there's like editorial, or there's like whether it's an actual news story, or most any news site has opinion section. If you look at the top, sometimes it says opinion. It's like, oh, that's why this shit is really biased or something. They allow opinion, which is good. Yeah, you know, the writers can express themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's so weird.
You gotta pay attention. If it says opinion poll, it is an opinion poll, right? Or an opinion story.
And that's what makes me think it's weird how like certain people, whether in the camera's eye or media's eyes, or just like local people, anybody, how they like get so disgruntled over like a Washington Post or a Huffington Post article, or a BuzzFeed article, or a Daily Wire article, you know, going from the major left to the major right spectrum. It's like, why would you get so disgruntled over that? Like, you know, what's driving you to for that to bother you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you care so much that these people who obviously don't agree with you, whoever it is, you know, whatever it is, if a news agency or whatever the fuck media outlet doesn't agree with you, why would you listen to it anyway, right? But unless you wanted a different opinion.
Well, yeah, I think that's being smart, challenging your views, right?
Thought and stuff.
Challenging your views, because if you're just listening and taking in shit that you want to hear, it's just a fucking echo chamber. Hanging around people that are only saying shit you want to hear.
Just like being in a fucking church full of people.
You gotta debate people and peacefully debate people. It doesn't have to be like a fucking argument.
Not even a debate. What is that one? I saw a video of this, and this is a great example of, because this video I watched on Facebook, the headline or the caption of it was, professor gets, verbally assaulted by a group of kids for coming in on a day without whites. And of course that's like a clickbait type.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
a white dude came in on
a white guy, a white professor apparently came in.
Day without whites.
College. I didn't read the whole article. I just saw the video. You know, there was this day without or day with or whatever. You know, I don't know if it was whites or just day. I don't fucking know. But
I never even heard of that.
I mean, that's segregation in itself. You know, you're dividing people anyway. But like, I just saw this video of him and all these kids just yelling at him.
Like, why are you gonna get mad?
I'm not here to debate you. I'm here to have a dialect. And he's like, that means I say something, you listen, and then you say something, I listen. You know, totally fucking. That's very reasonable.
Yeah.
You know, and then everybody starts yelling at him, and that's that group thought.
Yep.
Like, ain't that like what you want to get away from? Ain't that what the racists had, and the Deep South, and even all of America at one point? You know, people who had slaves, they all just knew that they knew in themselves, they thought they were doing right, you know.
It's like, no matter what you think, you always should be listening to the opposing view, because if not, what are you doing? You're not doing anything that's going to be worth anything.
You're cutting out the chance and the odds that you might be wrong on something.
Yeah, you're going to...
And that's something no one can you can't really risk doing that. I feel like I can't, because if I'm gonna be completely honest with myself, which naturally that feels good to be honest with myself and honest with my friends and family. I don't see how you can subscribe to one thing completely.
I know, it's sad. Without
leaving open like the room, the chance that I might be wrong.
I don't
about
get it why
certain
people
things,
choose. Like, are they just
it's all
deciding
hindsight,
to?
right?
Are they just deciding to be like, fuck this? I only want to hear what I want to hear. I don't
And
know.
do you really like? No, you don't.
I don't know. I
Ain't
think
that
it's
gentrification in a
it's
way?
boring.
Like, getting exactly what you want and having a fucking. All right, we don't even have to leave the house. We can just order a fucking pizza and it comes right to our door. And you know, I'll read my favorite news article or my favorite news
We only
station.
watch Fox.
Only watch Fox. Only watch CNN.
Only. Yeah, I don't know.
Now the president calls a certain news stations fake, and then it gets the people on the right up in an uproar because they're like, "Yeah, we already knew that," you know.
I think it's just fun to be.
Dangerous as fuck, man.
I think it's just fun to be open and taking things from all sources. Because
That's why comedians are the best.
Yeah.
That social commentary is so raw. When I hear like Louis C.K. or Joe Rogan say some like racial slur. It hits you at first, and you're like, "Ooh, you shouldn't have said that." But then you see how the crowd reacts, and you're like, "All right, all right, yeah." So these people know this is obviously just human expression, and not in a hateful way. This is
and that's what people got to realize. Yeah.
Observational way. I'm all for speaking your mind, but I'm not gonna defend you if you're talking about killing blacks, killing whites, killing Mexicans, and then somebody wants to come beat your ass. Like, of course they're gonna want to. That's their right, and it's your right to say that. But it's also it's your responsibility and your duty to protect yourself.
Better back
if you
yourself
want to
up,
say some shit
right?
Like that. I'm not saying go punch Nazis. I'm not really for all that self-righteous. I mean, that's just self-righteous, just like Christians. It's the same fucking caliber of the situation. They'll gonna go out and get 100 Nazi scalps. Gonna go out and fucking.
That's a funny argument too.
Muslim scalps, like they sound a lot alike, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's a super funny argument too. The whole punching Nazi thing. That whole idea is like, and that what? Let me guess. It comes from the left because, well, obviously Nazis are right. I would think, right?
That's weird, right?
But,
are they right? Because like America hated Nazis, right? Or universally, at least in the past few decades.
Well, the Nazis are. Well, they say like the whole alt-right is
one
like
of the worst fucking.
Well, a lot of the whole alt-right people that started that shit are like kind of white supremacists and all of that.
Yeah, they're just like they have like this.
So I'm just saying, like, this whole the whole idea of punching Nazis came from the left onto the Nazis that are presumably right.
Right.
And so that's funny. I mean, if you're gonna be an actual bigot and racist and talk about killing blacks, killing whites, killing whoever, doing any kind of fuck shit, like
be honest about it.
If you're being a shitty human, then I don't care if there's violence against you. I mean, sure, we should be working shit out peacefully. We should be changing their point of view in a peaceful way, not taking out violence against them. We should be changing them, making them a peaceful person if it's possible. But I kind of don't
listen to that statement though. That sounds very like Hitlerish.
What's Hitlerish?
We should make them a peaceful person through a peaceful way, or make them think the way that we do. Like, I think there's just a line where you have to ask yourself, all right, this person's opinion I either don't agree with, or maybe I learned something from it. But even if like you're stone cold dead set against this motherfucker, you say extreme right, extreme left, two people our age are arguing just full force. They're probably gonna walk away hating each other and telling stories about how stupid the other seems.
Yes.
Well, fuck, I forgot where I was going with that. But,
well, I mean, but yeah, about the whole punching Nazi thing, and like I said, if you're gonna be an actual bigot and spew hateful shit, be a shitty human, if violence comes against you, I don't really care.
I'm not gonna feel bad for you.
But like I said, I believe we should have tried to change their mind if they're and I don't mean like we're gonna control the way you think.
No, right, I got you. Right. See, that's what I thought first when you said
not like that. I mean, because if you're a racist or a piece of shit human, you shouldn't be, because that sucks. Like, you should be cool, right?
Well, at least this day and age.
So trying to make someone a peaceful person, like in that sense, like if they're racist, it'd be great to try and convert them. Like make them not that way. But what's gonna happen? But people are saying preaching violence against them, and so I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't care. If a racist gets hurt, that's their problem, right? Because you're a racist, right? But again, the whole Martin Luther King, we should be like peaceful, right? Love thy enemy and shit, and try and show them a better way? Or?
I gotta take a piss.
For sure. Yeah, we'll come right back. That shit you were talking about you made earlier sounds fire.
The tuna?
Yeah.
Cashews. Yeah. I want some, like, pasta right now.
I need something.
Some, like, lots of cheese, lots of meats. It's like my diet mainly nowadays. Just cheese and meat and bread.
Something that shit will put me to sleep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, let's get knocked out. Fucking.
Dude, let's watch Mark Twain.
Yeah, watch some Mark Twain. It was a good podcast. It was probably fucking long, but.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you tell from there yet?
I mean, I can't tell. It doesn't tell me a time bar on there. But we should have set something up so we knew. But yeah, we'll find out. But yeah, it was good shit. But
hell yeah,
I don't know.
It was nice to.
Nice to talk. Yeah, I know no one's probably listening, but shit.
Fuck it, we hope you do.
Yeah, hopefully they're not bored. But you know, we'll be doing some more bullshits here and there. But
comment, subscribe.
Yeah, fucking MOBQC. That
like
shit.
it, like
Mine's
it.
obliterating boundaries. You know. Oh, you don't know, but you will know.
You will know.
One of these days. But
one of these days.
All right, well, we'll get out of here. We'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.